Good day, everyone. This is Patrick from EasyFX Code Trading System, and it's Saturday, the 26th of November, 2022, and it's the weekly technical analysis for Euro, Cable, and the Aussie dollar for the 5th week of November. And let's look at the Euro first with an up and down week with initially dipping lower right to test the upper channel trend line that we were expecting, and then a strong bounce off it and back up into the resistance zone at the 104 and close just around the 104 round figure for the week. So that's the resistance that it has seemed to have formed a double top or a lower high. So let's add this here, see that whether that's potentially a lower high here, and it could also be forming a triangle and consolidating inside this triangle here as well between the upper trend line and the lower trend line here, which is actually from the upper channel trend line. So you will need to break out higher to test the next round figure at 105. But it's exposed to US dollar news this week. There's no Eurozone news, so it's exposed to both the inflation index, the PCE index, and the non-farm payroll report on Friday. And I think we can also update this fib to this reversal fib now, and look at that, it has tested the 138 fib extension and needs to break out above that and the next round figure 105 in order to test the next 162 fib extension. So it needs to depend on the US dollar index to drop lower. Otherwise, it's going to dip lower and consolidate within the triangle for the week. And this coming week is the end of the month as well as the start of new December month. And it managed to bounce up higher with poor US PMIs, flash PMIs data last Wednesday. And then Thursday and Friday, it was fairly quiet with the shortened work week for the US markets with Thanksgiving holiday. So it managed to bounce off on the Tuesday, early part of the week, and carry on the Wednesday. So it's forming a good support here with the channel. And 102 is the intermediate support. Major support is going to be at the round figure of 1 parity. Okay. So let's see if the US dollar index did reflect an inverse correlation with the euro here. Let's switch over. And here's the US dollar index. where it basically did the inverse move to the majors and climbed up initially just to the 55th retracement area before falling back down into support. That's the interim support level at the daily 200, and as well as the 21/5 retracement area, and closed just below the 106 round figure. So this is going to be a critical support level now at the daily 200. It needs to hold in order for it to climb back up and recover, and it needs to climb back into the 108 region where the 62/5 is, and likely where this lower bullish channel is coming down to be retested. Cannot afford to break down below the daily 200, otherwise it's going to test 105 and likely test the swing low level here at the 104.30, which will be a critical support level. So we'll see if this level will hold next week with a couple of key news next week with the inflation data for PCE, and then on Friday with the non-farm payroll report, which will give an idea and some data points for the Fed for their December 15th FOMC meeting on the next rate hike, whether it's going to be 0.5% or a 75 basis points increase. Okay. So this is going to be the interim resistance, and right above that, major resistance with the daily 55 and the 109 and the previous swing lows. Okay. All right, let's switch back to the other major pairs. Let's move on to the cable, and similar to the euro, albeit a stronger bullish move than the euro, with a strong move up on the Wednesday, and also bouncing off the upper trend line of this not quite a symmetrical bullish channel, but more like an ascending wedge, but the similar form as the euro, and bouncing off the upper trend line, and as support, finding support there, and blasted through the intermediate resistance at the 120 round figure, and indeed tested the next major resistance at the daily 200 EMA. And we did manage to find support here. And let's update this fib now, and I think we can move to the next. This continuation move, and extended into the 162, which is right at the 200 EMA, and that's where it closed just right there, right at the 120.91. So let's use this bullish continuation move now. The intermediate resistance, we'll move it down to support. And this next one here will be major support zone at this swing high. So we move this for now, and the next support zone will be at the 115 round figure. Right. Unlike the euro, this seems to have a better chance to break out higher to test the next key resistance at 122.50. Let's take a look at the weekly time frame as well. And yes, that's a bullish close for the week, and yep, attempting to climb up to the next resistance zone where the weekly 55 is as well, just above that. And that is at the 123.15. So we should actually mark this area here as the next key resistance, and let's leave it at that for now. Okay, let's move on to the Aussie dollar. And similarly, Aussie dollar also showing a V-shaped recovery, bouncing off this support zone at the round figure of 66 and just above the daily 55 EMA. And attempting to test the resistance zone at the 68 round figure. So similar to the euro, let's see if it's able to break through this trend line and climb up to the next fib. And we could also update this fib to this reversal fib, and it has hit the 162 right there twice now, and we'll see if it's able to break through higher or just go back to consolidate. This will be the next support zone at the swing high. This will be an intermediate support. So the Australian economy, there's no major news as well. So it's also exposed to the US news with non-farm payroll. That's the key one. And on Thursday, the price index for the PCE, personal consumption. So let's see how the US dollar responds and correlate with these major pairs as well. A key week to close the end of the month. Right, so do stay safe and then have a good trading week, and cheers for now.